What's up, guys? My name's Matt Langer. I'm the host of the Beast Coast podcast. Thank you for tuning in to episode 1. If you don't know me already, I'm Matt Langer. I work in the Peninsula office here on the East Coast out here in Virginia. We're trying to grow a little bit more. I have somebody here with me pretty special to me today. He's taught me a lot, showed me what it means to have balance within life. You guys know him as Mr. One More Door. Mr. Micah Walls, how are you, my man?
What's up, man? Thanks for having me, bro. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for coming on. I want to jump right into it, man. So
Okay.
I know you've not always wanted to be a sales rep. You know, you guys growing up, of course. Let's fast track way back. How was your life growing up, man?
Fun. I would say, always been a sociable guy.
Yeah.
Had a lot of friends growing up. My brother and I being twins and stuff, kind of attractive to people, right?
Mhm.
So, but growing up, we grew up in a big household, a lot of love. At one point in time, there was about 13 people all staying in my grandma's house. So,
13.
13, yeah, basically everybody in there, like our moms and their kids. So it was,
Wow.
my cousins, my aunts, uncles, but my grandma, rest in peace, she was just a very loving and caring woman, and she opened her doors to everyone. So
She must have been a good cook.
yeah, she
Yeah.
was. Yeah, I miss grandma's cooking for sure. But yeah, that's just the kind of household I grew up. So, as I got older, at some points I would be sleeping on the couch or the floor just because there's so many people there. So that kind of motivated me to start getting out, getting my own, and becoming an adult. But yeah, my brother and I, we always been hard workers. I could say that 100%. People who know us best always know us as that as well. We've been working since we were 16. 15 and a half since we could get our permit.
Man.
Worked at Burger King for a long time, basically from high school all the way up to like sophomore in college. So became like a trainer there and stuff like that. Worked the overnight shift, closed the store down, things like that. But yeah, shout out to Burger King, man.
Yeah. Was that your first job?
Yeah, it's my first job
Okay.
and one of my longest jobs. I think I tried to work at Panera because they pay us.
Yeah.
When Burger King found that out, they gave us a raise. So
Oh gosh, they
yeah,
wanted to keep you there, man.
yeah.
Keep you stuck in the rat
Back
race.
then, was what, $5.75, and Panera I think was paying $6.50 an hour, and then Burger King came in at that $7.50.
So $5.75
I'm
an
old.
hour.
I'm old. I graduated 2007, so
There you go,
minimum
man. There you
wage.
go.
Minimum wage back then. My fiance hates when I say I'm old. I'm older. So
Older, wiser.
Well, I guess yeah.
Wiser as like.
But I graduated 2007, so minimum wage back then was.
So I gotta ask. You grew up in a big household, of course. You and Ed were always kind of connected one way or another. But how was it, growing up? Did you guys play sports or anything like that? Because I know twins
Yeah.
compete, man.
Yeah.
Twins compete.
So we first and foremost, I was raised by a single mother.
Mm-hmm.
My twin brother and I, and then our older sister who has special needs. So she worked hard, effortlessly, around the clock, day in and day out to provide for us. So growing up, some of our passions, we had hoop dreams, you know what I mean? Just
Hoop
like
dreams.
a lot of people our age, but we realized that we kind of got started a little too late. Some of our friends grew up playing basketball, football, and then as we got older, maybe like middle school, high school, that's where we started to like try to pick up the sport. So,
Okay.
but yeah, and then passion's always been our fashion. Fashion has always been our passion. So, growing up younger, 2000s influenced by like, the Rockawares, the Sean Johns and stuff like that. So we grew up in that, early hip hop pop culture.
Different era.
Era. So that influenced us. Rap videos and stuff like that, BET Rap City. See the fashions on the TV, go back and draw that. So I would say, we always been creative, and
Hmm.
yeah, I could still draw here and there, but just like anything, when you put it down, it's hard to kind of pick back up, and
For sure.
gets a little frustrating trying to mold to that again, or at least, to the level that we were at. But yeah, growing up, we had our brand called Wallwear and Wall to Wall Wear, so
That's where it started.
that's where it started.
Okay.
So also we were influenced. I mean, like I said, Y2K 2000s, man.
Hmm.
WWF, not WWE. Monday Night Raw, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, DX, D-Generation X.
The OGs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we used to draw like these characters as well. So
Hmm.
we would draw like wrestlers and some of their fits and attire and stuff like that. So
That's awesome.
yeah,
Man.
so we would sit in front of the TV. Unfortunately, sometimes, as kids, the TV raises us, but I
Mhm.
felt like it came from some good because we saw a lot of stuff that, appealed to our creative eye, and then we would put those things on paper. And yeah, growing up throughout high school, college, one of my buddies, I remember, Major, I used to work with him at the convention center. Back then, I was in college at the Art Institute, pursuing my fashion and marketing degree.
Okay.
He'd be like, "Man, you and your brother, man, I swear every time we work together, you guys are always scheming. Y'all always talking about like your next play or the big plan and stuff like that." So that's kind of how we grew up. That's who we are.
Yeah. So I've noticed, like with you and Ed, you guys have always been, hyper competitive. You guys have grown different levels together. I assume he didn't work at Burger King with you, did he?
He did.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, so
He
we're
did.
twins, man. We same interests,
Just everything, man.
bro. Everything, same interests, same group
Okay.
of friends, same passions. Yeah.
Dude, so that's awesome, man. So obviously when you were working at Burger King, it was kind of like me growing up, same concept where, you never knew that there was a way out of that. And
Yeah.
maybe it was the same case for you guys, but when you
Mhm.
were working there making $5.75 an hour, scaling up, I know you started in timeshare,
Yeah,
right?
so at that point in my life, just got tired of fast food, and I seen a lot of people. There were examples, but they've been working there for years, longer than
Yeah,
me.
you
So
see that a lot.
I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. I want more, and when I went, we enrolled at our institute. My
Mhm.
brother and I both went there.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Unfortunately, he had to raise his daughter at the time because
Yeah,
he had a blessing. Our niece, my niece Nala, his
she's
his
awesome.
daughter. Yeah. So I went on to pursue that, and senior year ran out of the FAFSA financial aid,
Oh, okay.
because I went to a private art school, very expensive.
Hey, you got good education,
Yeah,
man.
no, phenomenal resources. I don't knock anything about the Art Institute. Like,
Yeah.
it taught me a lot. We had access to stuff like this every day. Self-taught how to learn like fashion design through Photoshop. Had the big MacBook top computers, all that stuff.
Now
So
you just got AI.
yeah,
Yeah,
right.
it's
So
ridiculous, man.
different times back then.
Yeah,
But yeah, I had to take out a loan my senior year to graduate. So it was like
really.
basically last year, graduating year, boom, fast forward ran out. It was like I was at a pivotal moment. Like, do I continue on or do I, just drop out? Right?
Yeah.
Spent all this, or not spent, but earned all this money, through financial aid for no reason. So, like, I want my degree. I'm first in my family to actually achieve that. So,
Congrats, man.
thank you. So, yeah, man. But shout out to Ed. He inspired me to go to college because
Yeah.
after high school, he graduated, and he was in high school. He was throughout school in general. He was like A, B. Barely got C's. He got all A's and B's.
Wow. Yeah.
So me and
One
my
thing about Ed, he's
yeah,
smart, very
yes,
smart
very
guy.
smart guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that just inspired me. And the funny thing about it is Miss Hinton, our Spanish teacher at the time, she also is a family friend. My best friend, Jessica Valentine, his older sister went to school with her. And we didn't even realize that that's who that was when we used to go to the house when we were younger.
Yeah.
Because Miss Hinton would be over there hanging out with Rachel, our best friend's older sister. And yeah, around 11th grade year, she was like, "Are you guys thinking of going to college?" Nobody ever asked me. And I was like, "What, college? Like, how do I do that?"
Yeah.
But my brother got accepted to multiple universities: Hampton University, Norfolk State, even ODU, I believe.
Down here in Norfolk.
Yep. And myself, it was either go to TCC route, or go to Elizabeth City State. But he actually decided to go to North Carolina Central University down in Durham, North Carolina.
Mhm.
He went there for about 2 years.
Yeah.
Then came back home. At that point in time, I actually got a job from one of my other good friends, Rashad Jones. He worked here at Ion as well.
Yeah.
His mom hooked him up with a job at Dillard's. So I used to sell fragrances.
That's
Um,
the clothing store.
the department store.
Department
Yeah,
store.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
They
I
got
used to,
everything, man.
yeah, I used to sell men's fragrances and
Yeah. Polo reds and
yeah.
polo blue.
So it was only busy during the holidays. Other than that, I was just standing around watching the paint dry. So that wasn't fulfilling to me. Like I said, a very ambitious person.
Yeah.
Always struggle with the balance of like, how do I start this brand? Like I
Yeah.
want to, get into fashion.
That
And then
that was, sorry to cut you off. That
Yeah.
was your whole pivot going into college. You knew you wanted to be something more than yourself, you and your brother.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so you
yeah.
guys wanted to go into business together
Yes,
in the fashion world.
always been entrepreneurship
Okay.
minded. So entrepreneurial minded. But
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, worked at Dillard's full time. Didn't really, like I said, like it, and then decided to go to school. It's crazy. I was riding around one time and just kind of, in my head thinking like, I want to go to school, and then
Yeah.
I wanted to go to the arts too, from what I knew at the time, as far as like fashion design. And I was driving by around town center area. Back then they were still building it up, and I looked up, I seen these big red lights, AI, on the building. So I was like, okay, let me check that out. So a week later, went in there and, sat down with a administrator, counselor, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, had to write a essay to get approved to go there. And like I said, it's a private art school. So they just wanted
Yeah.
to
They
accept
just
me.
wanted,
Yeah.
they wanted some money, man.
Yeah. So,
Hey.
but like I said, I don't take nothing from that. And then fast forward, I keep talking in circles, excuse me, but
You're
senior
fine.
year, ran out of financial aid, and I was like, I need to find a job that can help not only pay the bills, the little bills I had at that time, and also, pay for my school,
Yeah.
my education. And then I went to an open house down at the Hilton at the Oceanfront on 31st Street. Ran into my supervisor at the time, Shelly, her and a few others, Brendan, Ian Murray.
Okay.
But yeah, they saw my resume. They did a little aptitude test on the spot.
Mhm.
And they were like, I think you would be fit for sales, because I was just gonna go to like work in the hospitality.
Yeah.
Because it was back then, it was Go Key, PHR. Go Key was the sales side. PHR was like the hospitality side. So
Yeah.
I wanted to work in the hotels, make a, strong hourly. I think it
Yeah.
was like 11 or $12 back then.
Yeah.
And then they were like, no, you should try this out. And lo and behold, I signed up to do a timeshare marketing job.
So I gotta ask, man, whenever I got approached about doing sales, I don't know how timeshare is, it's a little different from solar, but when you got approached to do sales, what was your first thought? Because you had went through college, you had graduated, you had an entirely different idea on how your life was going to go.
Right.
And I noticed that with this industry, especially here at Ion, we have so many people from so many different walks of life, different paths. And, some people went to college, some people were thinking they were going to go in the NFL or something another. And they come to do sales, solar. But when you had found them, it was, you said Virginia Beach, right?
Yeah.
When you had found them in Virginia Beach, what was your the first thought that went through your head? Were you like gung ho about it? Was it more of like, okay, let me figure this out with Ed and then see what I want to do from that point?
So, Ed, he was, he was working full time by that time because, like I say, he just had his daughter at the time. So,
Yeah.
he kind of had to do what he had to do. So that was another motivating factor. Like he was making money, he was handling his business. I was kind of like just a struggling, broke college kid, which is okay, but I used to beat myself up about it. So, sales, of course, they broke down a comp plan and what you could make. So I was like,
that's what gets them all.
Yeah. I mean, me, I'm big into earning potential.
Yeah.
Now in my career, not more necessarily like financially or whatever, but just the thought of earning more, So I was like, okay, cool. It's flexible. It's around my school schedule, right? And I can make money. So
be able to pay for that,
right? To pay for it. So why not? And I was working there, and then I was also I was working at Timeshare Gold Key. I was also working at Dick's Sporting Good retail, and my degree was for fashion retail management and marketing.
Okay.
Because my brother and I, we have in the past, but own our own like retail store, a chain of retail stores. So I was going to school for that, and I found out really quickly, at least what I was doing. Guess I wasn't patient enough at the time, but I didn't like retail. Like I was cashier, standing behind the cash register.
Very repetitive, right?
Like I told you, outside, folded. Yeah. That's how I got the fold down.
Yeah, clock in the building, clock out.
Folded clothes and hoodies all day. And I guess I was missing that like human interaction dealing with people. So I kind of, I left that and just picked up like shifts at the convention center serving, which was cool because we met a lot of great people and full circle moment. Yeah, we used to serve at the convention center, and we would serve like the State of the Union, which is a big luncheon, city organizers and Bobby D, the mayor. And fast forward about 3 years later, my brother and I actually were invited to those same luncheons that we serve and cater at. So a lot of connections made there. And I guess just subconsciously I always wanted to deal with people, be around people. But I would say because I started kind of in the shoulder season in Timeshare that spring. But then by the end of that summer, I was hooked. I was like, this is it.
It's
sales.
A rush.
Sales is the way. I was making decent money for my age, and it was fun. I didn't feel like I was working really. I'm at the oceanfront having fun, talking to people, stopping them.
So you were out in the field doing it.
Yeah, I was called an OPC, off property contact.
So that right there, when you were out in the field, you were getting leads for the actual guys in the building, closing them, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess that ties into your experience here at Ion.
Yeah.
So that ties right into it. What was the final straw per se when you were like, I'm done with timeshare. I'm gonna go into solar.
So COVID-19, that was the turning point.
You joined 2019,
2020. So the most I ever made in timeshare in 1 year was my final year there that previous summer. So in 2018 I made like $60K.
Yeah.
I thought I was balling, right?
Hey, it's a big jump, man.
It was a big jump. Back then I was always using like a family member's car to get to work or whatnot, or my mother's van, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, 21, 22, driving my mama's van still to work, having to pick her up before or after work from her job. Shout out to mom, man. And then
she's got a lot of influence over your life.
And then she works hard, and she's just a loving, giving person, right? So I bought my own vehicle at that time. It was around 2018. Bought my own vehicle, first big boy purchase.
What was it?
A Chevy Malibu.
Oh, okay.
Man. Still got that car. Actually, I gave that car to my mother.
Wow.
She needed a vehicle, and kind of just paid it forward because she let me use her vehicle all these years. So
It always comes back,
yeah,
man,
man.
tenfold.
So yeah, the pandemic rolled around. I was looking forward to having a even bigger summer. And what's crazy is August of that year when I made 60K, I literally like sat down. I remember this vividly. I sat down late at night and just reverse engineered my goals because I wanted to make 20K that month.
Yeah.
Ended up making 23,000 that month.
In 1 month.
In 1 month, yeah.
Doing
timeshare marketing.
timeshare at the time. Wow.
Crushed it. And I was looking forward to having an even bigger summer. I sat down, mapped out all my goals. Hey, I'll make 20K each month, right? And I would work sun up to sundown. And nobody saw it coming. COVID hit, right? So we all got furloughed, had to go on lockdown. That was very tough, I'm sure, for everyone.
Yes.
I remember vividly in my 1-bedroom apartment, after like 30 days of being on lockdown, I would get up, still try to do my same routine, but couldn't go nowhere.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? So I woke up one morning and I just broke down crying. Virginia came out the room. She was like, "What's wrong? What's going on?" Because she was working for the company too, Diamond Resorts at the time, but she had a job because she
was doing timeshare as well.
I met her doing OPC. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. Like, I always say, who winked at who first, man?
So she got me first.
Okay.
But we will always cross paths. She would work AM shift, I would work PM shift.
Yeah.
So we never like got to really see each other.
And you found a way.
Yeah, but she said she would always hear Micah.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, "Who the hell is this Micah Walls?
Yeah.
Like, who is this?" Right. And she would just see the name on the
leaderboard
in the office, right? And they will always be talking about what I did the night prior on the AM pre-shift. And one day I relieved her at VM16. That's a location. So on 16th Street, she was leaving. Well, she had to finish her shift. I was working the mid that day. So I was like, "Hey, I'm Micah." She was like, "Oh, you're Micah. Hey, best friend." I'm like, "Best friend? I don't know you." You know what I mean? But I had on purple Vans back. I used to wear Vans back then. Back to that, but she was intrigued by that because she's back even still she's a skater girl. You know what I'm saying? So she was intrigued by that, and she asked me a set of questions like, "Are you married?" I said no. "Do you live at home?" No. "Do you got any kids?" No. And then I was like, those are some weird questions.
Like, why is she asking you that? Yeah.
So, and then, she finished her shift, and, I always had that thought in my head, like, who's this girl? Like, she's cool. Like,
she intrigued you.
Yeah, she intrigued me. So I was like, all right, I'll see her again. I look forward to seeing her again.
Yeah.
And then about a week later, same situation. I came in early. Yeah. She left, and she told me, she'll correct me if I'm wrong, but basically she was like, I don't know when I'm going to see this guy again, so I'm going to just go for it.
Shoot the shot.
She asked for my number, asked what I was doing later that day. So we, got up later that evening, played some darts, hung out that night, and we've been together 8 years later ever since.
Wow. So you guys met doing timeshare, and then obviously so let's fast forward towards Ion now.
Yeah.
I am so curious. So when COVID, you got furloughed,
and then they tried to hire me back. I did come back that winter and pitching timeshare.
And this was in 2020.
This was in 2020.
Okay.
Pitching vacations and timeshare, and the pandemic was just whack to me. So all my buddies, Larry Corletto, Michael Schaefer, the one who recruited me, Ryan Hampton, they made the leap before like that fall. Yeah. And they came over and they were crushing it. They were always flashing me.
Man.
They were always flashing me their payroll, saying how much money they made. And I'm thinking in my head, like, I work way harder than these guys.
Is this legal?
Like, what's going on over here? But I thought door knocking was beneath me, which is stupid because I used to stand on the street corner.
The professional trick or treater.
Yeah. So I was like, what in the world? And then Schaefer, he was like the voice of reason. I was like, level with me, bro. Like, Michael Schaefer, like,
Yeah.
can I do this? He was like,
Great guy.
I know you could do this. And I took the leap to come in. So,
Yeah.
but also that summer, the pandemic did show us a lot, my brother and I, because we pretty much went all in on the brand, and we took powers into our own hands. Because, we used to outsource a lot
Yeah.
as far as our products and stuff.
You
And
started doing it in-house.
yeah, we bought our own
Yeah.
print and press, had the laptop going, Cricut
were all
machine,
in.
all that. Yeah, we made actually $30K that summer
Wow.
doing
Wow.
T-shirts and doing branding for like businesses, all that stuff. So
And let's expand a little bit on that.
Mhm.
I'm curious, what brand exactly was
Team Lamb. So
Team
it was a
Lamb,
brand
yeah.
that I started in college, and it was inspired by my friend Cadero Lil Lamb Simpkins. Back in 2011, he lost his life due to gun violence.
Yeah.
Down at the Virginia Beach oceanfront. But he was a professional boxer.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was well on his way. Even now, I don't like watching the professional fights because I feel like me and Cadero and my crew, we would be there ringside. But his death inspired my brother and I to like really do this clothing stuff and just put it out there. So we asked for his family blessings. We created this brand, community organization, Team Lamb. Tell everyone around me, love all my brothers. So
Love all my brothers.
yeah, so we took his nickname and made an acronym, and we've done tremendous things in the community since then.
It's amazing.
Something in the Water Festival. We've done stuff with NAACP, Rolling Loud New York, stuff with the community, just the city of Virginia Beach overall, Juneteenth at the beach. So, but yeah, so that was a pivotal moment. And then 2020, I was like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead, and my goal at the time, because we were getting those COVID checks, right?
Yeah.
Everybody was getting stimulus checks, about $900 a week, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I need to find a vehicle where I can make $1,000 a week. And Ion was that vehicle. Of course, starting out, I didn't, you know.
It's always that learning curve when you come in.
Yeah. My first paycheck was $20.
Were you scared of 100% commission when you
I
were
was.
told? What kind of? I think that's with what happens with so many of us, me included. When I came into solar, and when everybody starts to get into sales in general, you have to find out if it's you have your salary plus commission, or is it just commission? You eat what you kill, right?
Yeah.
How did you overcome that?
Yeah.
Because I think everybody watching, I think so many people still struggle, and they have friends that are just weary about it, or they come in, they don't make 50,000 in a week their first week, and then all of a sudden they quit, and then they go back to a 9 to 5 and they restart the process. How did you overcome that? How did you stick that out? Because I think that's the most important thing.
What is crazy is both in timeshare, because that was hourly plus commission.
Okay.
But if you were making hourly, you weren't making commission, which means you weren't getting paid, right?
Okay.
And then in Ion, door to door, what's funny is every day I would try to get 1% better every day. This is now knowing what I know now.
Yeah.
That's what kept me going, even though I didn't realize that's what I was doing. And I would tell myself every day, all right, I'm gonna give this one more month. Timeshare, fast forward, that was 5 years later. Same thing when I started Ion. All right, I'm gonna try this. I'll give this a chance for another 30 days.
Yeah.
Another 30 days. And then I was giving my all, and eventually the learning curve for me was about 90 days later.
Yeah.
My manager at the time, we don't fire people at Ion. People fire themselves.
They fire themselves, yeah.
And they were about to fire me.
Oh, God.
Yeah, they were like, but it was a tactic. I know.
Yeah.
It was interesting
It keeps
one-on-one.
you going, man.
Yeah,
Keeps
but
you going.
they were like, hey, you got sales experience. You come from Timeshare. Your buddies are doing good. You're just not putting forth the effort. We might go in a different direction if you don't turn this around in 30 days. So, of course, I saw the opportunity, and I was like, oh, no, don't fire me.
Almost like a disservice if I keep you here.
Yeah,
right?
Basically. So I was like, what do I need to do and to keep my job and to get the hang of this? And they were like, you need to start at 2:00 and you don't need to walk back to your car till 7:30 at the latest, at the earliest.
How do you like, because you can work a 9 to 5, you can work the 8 hours, but how do you when you know you can go out there and make nothing,
Mm-hmm.
how do you push forward? Is that when One More Door was born?
No, that actually
That was a little bit before.
came back a little bit later.
Okay.
Yeah, so I had to learn, just like everybody, right? You got to crawl first, and you got to walk. You know, so and then I started running, right? So, first 30 days was 1 foot in, 1 foot out. That's why I got sat down like that.
Yeah.
Then I implemented what my leaders told me to do. So that's why it's great to be coachable and be naive enough to trust the process. So to answer your question, I was naive enough to trust the process, right? And I joke all the time because I heard, my leaders like Asia and Chad and Tom say that.
I love them.
And I used to say that's the biggest I've ever heard, right? I don't know y'all people.
We weren't supposed to cuss.
Sorry. I don't know you guys. Why am I going to trust you?
Yeah.
What's the process, right?
Yeah.
And then knowing what I know now, like, I'm a firm believer. I'm still standing here to this day because I am still naive enough to trust the process day in and day out. And the process is just you giving it your all every day, and no matter the results, like you're saying, if you go out there and you bagel, know that you're not going to bagel. If you're bageling a week straight, all right, something's wrong, right? I need to reach out to a leader. I need to go out with somebody. But if you're not like taking notes of your mistakes or taking notes of the objections that you got that you couldn't overcome and working on that outside of work, then, what are we doing here, right?
And for a new guy, what does it mean to bagel?
To bagel is to get like you said, go out for all day and get nothing, right? So I've had days like that. I still have days like that. What I mean?
We all do.
We all do. So, but you just always got to have the end in mind and the end goal, always in the back of your mind. So, I was just naive enough to trust the process. And then 90 days later, I actually became top producer. And
out of VB.
In VB. April, I hit elite. Virginia elite back then was 32 sits or either 15 sales. I got 36 sits that month and 14 sales. So I was one shy away.
Crushed.
Thank you. And then became there was an opening to be a trainer, right? I felt like I was kind of overlooked a little just because there was this new guy that came in and his name was Tom King. But he had sales experience and bro crushed it. Like first month.
He was at Verizon.
Yeah, he came from Verizon. First month in, got like 60 or 70 leads, he's double-digit sales. Man. He was tearing up the Culpeper
He was reinventing what it meant to be a rabbit.
Right, yes.
Reinventing the ceiling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he came in and then, from what I thought, people were like, I was gaining more authority in the office, right? Like Virginia said back at Timeshare, everybody was Team Micah. Mm-hmm. Everybody was saying my name, and then here comes this Tom King cat out of nowhere and
strikes you down.
Yeah, well, I won't say it like that, but he crushed it. This is a meritocracy, right?
Yeah.
So he came in swinging, and he gained the more authority of the room. And then he ended up earning the role of becoming a trainer, and he earned it. Like, I'm taking nothing away from him. So I was a little butthurt that summer. My production went low. Kind of stopped really focusing on putting Ion first, and then went back into just like making the shirts and the brand.
And I'd like to pause right there because so many people at this job. Maybe it's right now. For everybody, it's going to be at some point in the future. But right in that very moment during the summertime when your production went low, how did you come out of that?
So I had to have a talk with myself. Once again, same leader at the time sat me down, talked to me, and was like, "What's going on?" And I just kind of told them how I felt, and they were like, well, hey, there's more leadership opportunities coming up. We're looking for more trainers. This team's growing. So go do what you need to do, throw down and earn it, right? And what's crazy is my buddy, Michael Schaefer, who recruited me, I told him how I felt, right? And he was like, look, man, he was like, next time there's another leadership opportunity that comes up, don't be that guy in the room where you let somebody else come in and take it from So I did what I had to do. I had to put my feelings to the side, compartmentalize, right? And just go out there and hit the pavement and go to work.
Kind of
So
horse blinders.
yeah, so I did that and then became a trainer. And then another opportunity came up where they were looking for a center manager
A
role,
leader.
a leader. And that's what another phrase of mine. I shared this with the South Carolina team 2 weeks ago at their New Year kickoff. But stay down until you come up, right? Jeremy Carr, our president of the company, says this all the time. What a shame! It's a quote I think from Winston Churchill or someone like that. But what a shame would it be for your number to be called and you're not ready, right? So I had to stay ready and gradually, I started in the company 2021 that year. 11 months later in November, I earned the setter manager role. And my competition,
Continued growing.
my competition was steep at the time. They sat down the four of us, myself, Ed Gooden, Ben Egan, Jeremy Basham, and
All killers.
they said, hey, out of the four of y'all, one of y'all gonna be the next setter manager. Who wants it? And
Everybody raised their hand.
everybody raised their hand, but you know the beautiful thing about this job, like I said, it's a meritocracy, right? What I mean by that is like whoever does the work, like your hard work, won't go unnoticed, right? So I just decided to start chasing people at that time, not like and success.
What do you mean by that?
So some people they chase things in life, right? And
Like inanimate, like cars or
maybe
watches
things like that. That's cool, but once you attain those things, like you did it, right? So what's next? So if you Andy Marlowe, our leader at the time, he said, "Don't chase money, don't chase objects, chase people." Right? So I was like, "All right, I need to pour into my team." I'm out there taking selfies in the field with like 8 other people around me, right? And in that month, where I think that October, Craig Dean and Jordan Henning, they dropped down from the sales managers to be setters because the leads were low.
Wow.
And I beat both of them on the sit side, not the sales side. They got me there.
They're Craig and Jordan are killers.
I was stomping with the big dogs though, and
Yeah.
I was literally out knocking doors, helping people, chasing homeowners, chasing my teammates, just trying to be the best version I could be for them. And leads were just falling in my lap. Sits and sales were falling in my lap. Like
It's weird how that happens. It's almost like the claim this energy stuff that people talk about. It kind of just attracts towards you. But throughout all of that, Virginia was there.
Yeah, she was.
She was there, and like it sounds like she helped you, overcome that slump or overcome, getting furloughed, everything from A to Z. And now, you grew into a setter manager, and now you are.
I'm a regional marketing manager for the East Coast. Yeah,
regional marketing manager for the East Coast.
Setter manager, marketing manager.
Bigger than that, man.
Yeah,
you've basically seen everybody in diapers per se.
Yeah,
seen them come out of their shell, start to find that stride, and some go, some don't. Most of them come back, and you've noticed that.
Yeah.
But at this point here, where you're at, you help run, or run one way or another.
Yeah, I help with the setter side on the East Coast. We have about 8 offices.
East Coast.
6 of them here in Virginia, 2 down in South Carolina.
More to come.
But more to come. We're growing. Primarily, I help with the South Side, so that's Virginia Beach Peninsula and South Carolina.
Now, I got to ask, man, like that pivot. So when you went from just a setter manager per se, because on the scale of things you do now, it's insane. How did you find time, like balance, personal life, work life? You've pivoted towards the pen to, grow that team, and it's becoming very successful.
Yeah.
Along with Virginia Beach becoming, the team it can be, right?
Yeah.
And then now South Carolina, 2 offices down there, and I'm sure many more to come.
Oh yeah.
How in the world do you find time? And also, manage so many different personalities.
Oh, that's the part. So I don't believe in balance. I believe it's Ed Milet or either Grant Cardone or Ed Milet.
I don't know what you're about to say.
So they said there's no such thing as balance. There's a such thing as harmony.
Okay, I think
So I
I want
believe
to say that's
one
Ed
of those two
Milet.
said
Ed
that, yeah.
Milet.
So when it comes to that harmony, like balance is hard to maintain, right? Especially if you're like really committed to
Yeah,
doing
for
something,
sure.
right? You just gotta have an understanding in your mind and also with those around you that support you. Like you said, Virginia, right?
Mhm.
Deep loved one of mine. Like she supports me
I
100%,
can see
right?
that. Yeah.
Anything morally correct, right? She will
Mhm.
support me. If it's not morally correct, she will correct me. So
Same with Rose for
yeah,
me.
so yeah, she just shows a level of support, same thing with my family members. And
Yeah,
you know, at one point in time, it's crazy. I tell the story all the time. Ed
yeah.
Walls will let you guys know, like at one point in time, he thought Ion had me brainwashed. Those were his little
Like,
words,
ooh.
because I was putting the brand on the back burner, right? And rightfully so I was, you know, but I saw the opportunity, right? I saw the opportunity to get to the next
You
level.
saw how easy, well, after learning how easy it was to
Mhm.
grow and see those, 5, 10, 15,000 plus dollar checks.
Yeah, yeah. So
You were,
yeah, starting out, you
yeah,
know, making the $1,000 a week, and then it grew to 8, then it grew to 5 digits, you know,
yeah.
and then um
6 coming soon.
right. So yeah, it just
Mhm.
you know, he thought I was brainwashed. And I told him, I said, yeah, I am brainwashed. I had to wash my brain of what I thought was success.
Yeah.
And
Redefine it in a
right,
sense.
redefine it. And you know, just certain habits, right? That, you know, I told the team last week in Peninsula, like, me and Virginia, we should just stay up all night, all hours of the night, doing God knows what, just for no
Yeah.
reason, right? Till
Yeah.
3, 4 in the morning, vicious cycle, sleep till 12 o'clock the next day, get
And
up
you're
and do
dead
it
for 2
again.
days.
Yeah, so it was just like I had to break those habits to become successful, and still a work in progress, right? But uh, my own brother, seen the personal change in me,
Yeah.
um, the financial change in me, the professional change in me,
Yeah.
and he eventually asked for a job, and I was like, "Yeah, you should try it. I'm your twin brother. Why can't you do
You
this?"
guys have been together the
Yeah,
entire time.
and then now fast forward, he's a leader here at the Peninsula, right?
Yeah.
And that's something that our Uncle Bobby always told us as we were kids, like, no matter what you guys do, and always stick together. So I would say me being at Ion, him doing what he was doing, he was a bartender at that time,
Yeah.
successful. He was doing
Yeah.
great things. Yeah,
I
Ed can
can't
make
wait to ask him
Ed,
about that, by the
Ed can
way.
make a good drink.
Yeah.
Don't worry. But yeah, he decided to come over, and now
Yeah.
look what we're doing. Look what we're
Yeah.
accomplishing.
You
So
guys have grown so much, and I haven't been here as long as you guys both
mm,
have. But Ed was in the Virginia Beach team, and we'll talk about that.
yeah,
But just
yep,
seeing you guys pivot, of course. I want to ask, you've seen hundreds and hundreds of guys come in, and they don't find success in their first 2 weeks, and they go. If
mhm,
that new rep watching right now, whether they're in solar, pest, whatever it might be,
yeah.
why Ion?
Um, I think because we put people first. We have a phrase here: "It's culture over everything." So
Yeah.
um, culture is what has that rep show up on a Monday meeting, even though they didn't get a check this past Friday, right?
And
It's
still have a smile.
and still have a smile, and still believe, and still want to help people. And I think Ion, not only are we a great solar company, but we're a phenomenal door knocking company. Um, that's what makes us great. So we have the best systems and processes than any other solar company, right? When it comes to door and how we knock doors, how we strategize,
Yeah.
the tools, the trainings, all that stuff. You know, a lot of these other companies, from my knowledge, they're like kind of wild west style, right?
They're
You know,
using, third party
third party
apps and
contracting, all that
yeah,
stuff. Like we're
apps
all
contracting the whole nine.
centrally interfaced. Our warehouse is right here in Chesapeake, right? We have warehouses in Northern Virginia. We don't subcontract third party anything. It's all in house.
Why is that
Right.
important?
That's important because it provides a great experience for the customer, right? I knock on your door, and then I set an appointment for you to come back, right? And you go and you help that family, and they decide to put solar panels on their house. Now, if something was to go wrong, they could call me. They could call Matt, right? They could call our warehouse here in Chesapeake,
Some
right?
call it one throat to choke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're dealing with somebody who's a subcontractor, you got to run down Peter to get to Paul, and then you
Yeah.
got to call this warehouse in New Jersey that came and installed your solar panels for that day,
And then
right?
hope they're still in business.
And hope that
right?
they're still in business. The average lifespan of a solar company in the state of Virginia is 2.5 years.
I've noticed that, and I wanna expand on that as well. So we saw a lot, not to get political, we saw a lot change in the entire solar landscape this past year. But whether you love Trump, hate him, whatever it might be, the one big beautiful bill did pass. It was 1,000 pages. There was a lot in it.
Yeah.
One of the facets that I saw, Section 25D
Yes.
of the one big beautiful bill, it revoked or basically took away loans. The residential solar tax credit expired, and it's now January, somewhere towards the end of January here. Have you noticed the industry change since loans have gone away?
A little bit, but it's, in my opinion, I think it's a blessing in disguise.
Why?
Just because, the loan process and all that was great. Not taking anything away from that. But now people are just utilizing their roof space to get a lower bill.
Yeah.
There's no debt tied to, there's no problems when it's time to go sell the home, things like that, hey, if you get enough, if you have enough space on your roof and enough sunlight, you can now produce your own renewable energy.
Yeah.
So you just pay for the energy the panels produce versus paying for like the equipment.
Yeah.
So,
And I've noticed, our offices have just done so much better. We've grown a lot. And I've also noticed there's not much competition. A lot of people have gone out of business. I feel I'm super confident in Ion, and I think that's important. I guess that's why you're here.
Yeah, that's
right?
why I'm here, and I'm here because of the leaders before me, like our CEO Matt, and our president Jeremy.
They are brave.
They know what they're
people.
doing. Ion, our company colors, as you can see, his hoodie here is in black and white.
Black and
right?
white.
Everything that we do is transparent. It's in black and white, right? And we've always made moves to build a better book of business at the end of the day. We're the largest privately held debt-free solar company in the country, right?
Say that one more time.
We are the largest privately held debt-free solar company in the country.
And why is that important? I got to expand on that because there's so much you see out here, man.
Because like I said, the average lifespan of a solar company is 2.5 years. What'll happen is, hey, I want to start a mom and pop solar company, or even a bigger company will come here, right? But with Ion Virginia, we pretty much dominate the market space, and it's hard for people to do that. But they'll come over here and start this company up, and they'll take what they call like M1 payments, or take on a bunch of debt to start the company, right? And then try to run it up on the back end with sales. That never happens. Now that business is done. Right? Default. And there's a lot of people, unfortunately, that have panels on their roof that don't work no more, or if something's wrong, they can't even call that company no more. There's a lot of people who did the work for that company, and they're not paid. They're owed commissions. So Ion, we've just always decided to like do things the right way, right? And we do a lot of stuff that solar companies can't do. And we do a lot of stuff that solar companies don't do, because we're trying to always build a better book of business at the end. So,
I love that. I love that. And we'll kind of finish up, but I got to ask, what's 2030 Micah?
Oh man,
what is 2030 Micah?
Jeez,
what's next, man?
Dang, I haven't thought that far, to be honest with you.
You reverse engineer a lot. And I figured I'd ask that. So we can shorten that down a little bit. So, going into 2026 here, I know, our company here at Ion,
I can answer that.
26% better, right?
Yeah.
What's next for Micah?
So growth, expansion, me growing personally, right? I'm about to become a husband.
Congrats, man.
Thank you.
Super excited.
I plan on starting more businesses. My brother and I, like we said, our dreams to have a like official retail location. That's going to happen. And just to help more people and just increase my span of influence. Like last night, we do ball club every week,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, you do.
Last night, Virginia Beach, we were playing basketball, and our buddy who works here, Justin Scott,
Yeah.
invited his friend to come up there. And his friend, I recognize him, but he looks different now. He has hair, tattoos, gauges.
Mm-hmm.
And Justin's like, you know him? I was like, he looks familiar. He was like, you don't remember me, man? I was like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, I remember you now. Right. And then he was like, I was like, but remind me where I know you from again.
Yeah. It's like, hold on. I know you, but I can't.
But he looks different now. And
then
then he said to me, he was like, man, I used to hang out with you, your brother, and Nene.
Yeah.
At Nene's house. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And back then that was like our partying days. So so I was like, all right, good to see you, man. How you know Justin? We're rapping and talking. I asked him how he's been. He said, I've been doing good, man. He was like, how you been? I said, I've been doing pretty all right. And he was like, I sit back and watch and see what you and your brother have been doing since I've known y'all. And he was like, I want to tell you right now, bro, you're an inspiration to me. Yeah. It was like, you and your brother are like here, next level. And he was like, you guys strive me to keep trying to get to that next level. That's why I go so hard.
Network is your net worth.
Right. He was like, that's why I go so hard. That's why I'm always trying to, achieve more because I see you guys doing it. And that was just like a surreal moment to me because it's like somebody that I do remember but barely recognize saying that I inspired them by them just sitting back and watching, me just giving it my all, putting in work every day. So, yeah, man, it's crazy to think. I actually saw this opportunity back in 2018. I was trying to get out of timeshare again. This was like the first go around. But, I got tired of just seeing the same curve every day, doing the same thing, right? So I was like, hey, let me go on the sales side, right? So I went on the sales side, did what we call like an exit sampler. So after somebody was telling somebody no for like 4 hours straight, now I have to go and give them their gifts for them come and take the tour and then present them with a 20,000 point package, right? Which was just stupid to me because it's like they just told this person no for 4 hours, right? Yeah. So, but I did all right, and I just really didn't like on the marketing side of timeshare. That was cool because I was giving people free stuff, right? Yeah. And if they went down there and bought a timeshare, great, that's on them, right? Now, I had somewhat belief in the product because, who doesn't want to create family memories and vacations, right? Everybody does. I actually saw firsthand like the practices and tactics that they were pulling on people.
It started to take down the curtains per se.
Bro, I was like, I can't do this. Like I was losing sleep at night. Yeah. Like I remember one time specifically, there was this family visiting and I was sitting at the table with them. The wife was crying because they had took their, the little bit of money they had at the time to go on vacation with the kids. Now they got to do back to school, all that stuff, right? Maybe I was putting myself in the customer's pocket, right? But she was crying because she really wanted the package, but she couldn't afford it. Yeah. I went back into the room to get my manager. Like, hey, these people are crying because they can't afford it. Like, what do I do? They say, you better get your ass back out there and go sell that deal. And I was like,
boiler room.
I was like, bro, I can't do this no more. So I actually was on Indeed looking for jobs, and I saw sales manager position for Ion Solar. This was back in 2018.
They don't post those no more.
No. But the reason why they were posting it is because this is when Ion first started.
It was a baby.
Right. Yeah. So this is the same seminar that like Asia tells about in her story, right? The little dark, scary room, story. Right? Yeah. She's one, that woman there is amazing. She's one of my mentors. But she's been through a lot and she still stands strong to this day, right? Inspiration to all of us. But I went to that same seminar. I thought, solar, this is great. It's a great product, sounds like. Back then, they were only paying $100 per sale. Yeah. Right? Yeah. I don't even think it was sit pay. And it was 100% commission. Like you said, very scary. Back then, I was on hourly or commission.
Better than $575.
Right. Yeah. But I thought to myself, like, I want to do this, but I can't do this. I told myself I can't do this. And they were all on me because I was a timeshare guy, right? So I went to the seminar, all that great stuff. Then a day or two goes by, and they call me. I can't exactly remember who called me, but I do remember the conversation.
Yeah.
They were like, "Hey, are you interested in a job? Like, we would love to have you." And I was like, can you guys do hourly plus commission or hourly or? They was like,
The question of
yeah.
a lifetime, man. Everybody asks that.
They
Can
were
you
like,
please do hourly? No.
they were like,
go eat what you kill,
yes.
man.
They were like, Micah, no, this is an hourly. Excuse me, this is 100% sales and commission job. And I was like, well, I don't think I could do that. And I was, complaining about my bill situation, my life. And I remember this vividly. They said, Micah, I'm not training you just to be a rep. I'm training you to be a leader, and I'm training you to open up a market, and I'm training you to, expand. And they were painting the vision to me over the phone, and I'm just sitting there in silence. And then I was like, I got to think about it.
Yeah.
And then never got a call.
I completely understand how you feel.
And then never got a call back. And then fast forward 2 years later, my buddies all leaving Timeshare, coming over to Ion, right? If knowing what I knew back then, maybe I wasn't ready, right? I believe in God's timing, right? Because I feel like, I did get in at the right time, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I did learn a lot throughout the years, but imagine if I would have took that opportunity back in 2018. Like,
boom.
You know what I'm saying? We'll probably be sitting on the island somewhere doing this podcast.
Hey,
it's
still early, though.
It's still early, yeah.
It really is still early. People can, I've seen people come into this job, this year even, and they're
change their life.
3-4 homeowners and families they've genuinely helped.
Mm-hmm.
And they see that first paycheck and they're like, wow, is this real?
Yeah.
And I think that's amazing. So, like for the rest of this year, next year, and, what does it look like for Micah?
So it's a lot of growth, a lot of expansion, a lot more influence. And we're going to keep building this thing, man.
Let's go, man. Well, let's go ahead and wrap up. Well, I appreciate you coming on, man. Thanks for being the first guest on the Beast Coast podcast. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time.
Thank you. Appreciate you.